It's like I totally get what his message is. And at the end of this video, I almost felt like it was almost spiritual. You know, it was like there was a spiritual sort of feeling about what he was saying, where he was bringing a lot of people together, feeling like they were being heard. Does that make sense?
Okay, so we're going to play the second video, which actually is the beginning of some of this. Basically, all of his albums make up a series. It's like one long story. So we're going to bring that up. And this is kind of the beginning of all of it.
All right.
Okay.
I see you at the liquor store, leaving with the cheapest kind of beer on the shelf. You ain't living on the street, but you barely making rent, and I relate because I'm struggling myself. I see you smile at the clerk when you fumble through your purse. I just wish I had a little more to help. I imagine where you live and how you feeling, what you love, and who you'll be if you can make it out your hell. I see you at the bus stop, looking at the sidewalk, smoking up a cigarette, waiting for a ride. Kinda limp when you walk and look away. When you talk, you're ashamed, I can see it in your eyes. Probably got a NASCAR shirt and a car that you love, but you're here cause you're too afraid to drive. It's been almost 10 years since the day that you crashed, can't forget about the little boy's life. Everybody's got a story, if you look a little closer you can see it in the wrinkles in their face. They can hide it in the silence, they can bury it and fight it, but it comes out when their hair is turning gray. You can feel it if you touch them, you can tell that they are troubled, you can hear the story running through their veins. We all travel different roads and we put on different clothes, underneath it all we're really all the same. We've all got problems and we all feel alone. We've all been haunted by the secrets we hold. We could fill our coffins with the rocks they have thrown, or we could build our castles with the sticks and the stones. We've all got problems and we all feel alone. We've all been haunted by the secrets we hold. We could fill our coffins with the rocks they have thrown, or we could build our castles with the sticks and the stones. I see you sitting on the front porch playing with a radio, looking to the sky. Probably living in that house all alone these days, trying to find a better way to pass time. Got a wheelchair ramp leading up to the door, I can see that you walk just fine. Probably hate it cause it isn't getting used anymore, and you only ever build it for your wife. Everywhere that I walk, see you on the sidewalk, begging for a little loose change for some dough. Probably got a mama and a papa spending everything they make, trying to clean you up enough to take you home. Used to have a good job, used to get good grades, used to have big dreams, and he lost hope. When your girlfriend died, giving birth to your son, you're the father that'll probably never know. Everybody has a tale that they're too afraid to tell. You can see it in the cracks in their hands. They can cover it with smiles if you walk a couple miles in their shoes, and you'll know where they stand. Everyone who really lived had to climb out of a ditch they were in before they found the right path. If you want to know the truth about what we've been going through, then try to put your phone away so you can ask. We've all got problems and we...
I'm just curious if what you think of that so far.
Yeah, no, I think he's got a point.
I mean, you've raised a lot of children, and you know, I mean, I think a lot of this is just like, you know, if you ask me, if you talk to me, then you'll kind of understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I think people spend way too much time on their cell phones, and they don't spend enough time really communicating with the people that are all around them personally. So we live in a very impersonal culture, a very impersonal time in history.
And you know, like he just said, basically was, you know, I had a good job, I had a good home, and then, you know, shit hit the fan. You know, and you've probably seen that 1,000 times in your life.
What we've been going through, then try to put your phone away so you can ask. We've all got problems and we all feel alone. We've all been haunted by the secrets we hold. We could fill our coffins with the rocks they have thrown, or we could build our castles with the sticks and the stones. We've all got problems and we all feel alone. We've all been haunted by the secrets we hold. We could fill our coffins with the rocks they have thrown, or we could build our castles with the sticks and the stones. We are the neighbors that you'll never meet. We are the strangers walking down your street. We are a million faces in the crowd. We are the ones the system's tearing down. We are the people working to survive. We are more than just our 9 to 5s. We are the shopping malls and streetcars. We are problems and we all feel alone. We've all been haunted by the secrets we hold. We could fill our coffins with the rocks they have thrown, or we could build our castles with the sticks and the stones. We've all got problems and we all feel alone. We've all been haunted by the secrets we hold. We could fill our coffins with the rocks they have thrown, or we could build our castles with the sticks and the stones. We've all been haunted by the secrets we hold. We could fill our coffins with the rocks they have thrown, or we could build our castles with the sticks and the stones.
I honestly expected more reaction out of you, but I should have known how much shocks us, so
Yeah.
that's kind of funny.
No, I mean, I think I'm not a rap lover. I don't think the guy has a
Obviously.
great voice.
He doesn't.
But everything he says is accurate, and in my opinion, and am I gonna run out and buy his album? No, but it's like I totally get what his message is, and at the end of this video, I almost felt like it was almost spiritual. It was like there was a spiritual sort of feeling about what he was saying, where he was bringing a lot of people together, feeling like they were being heard. Does that make sense?
It absolutely makes sense, because I honestly have never been against his message.
Right.
I've seen he did advertisements to get his music out, and I didn't touch it for 6 months.
Yeah.
And when he did, I was like, I get it. But he's brought so many people together
Right.
that if you go against him, basically, you're doomed on the internet.
Well, the thing is
And
like,
he's not saying go and do this and against these people. It's just the whole Hangover gang.
yeah, but you can tell that he has a huge following, and maybe that's the feeling that I got, like it was more of a spiritual thing, where his following is sort of like a calling, to people saying, this is really happening in the world and I need to change it.
I'm amazed that you actually say that, because a lot of people are just like, he says himself, I was lost until you people helped me.
Right, exactly.
And so I get what you're saying on that. It's not like, I understand, I like his political message, but what you just said made a lot of sense. And I think, and you don't know who this is.
No.
You've never seen him before.
Never in my life. No.
When you walked in and his picture was up, you're like, who the hell's that?
Yeah, who's the guy with the dreadlocks
and the hog tattoo
and
underneath his mouth?
writing all over his face? But I mean, I think it's important, and I'm certainly not without fault here. Like that, before we run and jump in to judge people, we walk a mile in their shoes, so to speak, and that was his message, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yes.
we can say everything he said in a different way, but it all boils down to the same basic stuff.
Absolutely.
And so, it's a perfect example of, okay, I'm a 58-year-old woman looking at a guy who draws on his face with, with braids and all that, and I could be like, whatever, this guy is like. But the bottom line is he's saying exactly the way it is, and, even though I don't know who he is, like I said, I'm not going to run out and buy his album, but I like the idea that he's brave enough to be honest, and that takes a lot of courage.
Everything he says and does so far has not been anything but.
Yeah.
As far as what the internet goes
offensive.
and looks, and they're all like, he's got to be wrong there. No, he's got to be wrong.
I mean, he's not offensive, and we're living in a time in the world, it's unprecedented, really, because there's so much going on all over the world. It's a global thing, and it's just getting worse and worse. And I think it's time for the younger generation to step up and say, I mean, I think it's time for all generations, but certainly, this guy, I can't remember his name, is not
Tom Macdonald.
Tom Macdonald, coming out and saying, hey, you know, let's pay attention. This is how things really are. And he obviously is a guy that observes things and really sees the truth in all things. I mean, because the stuff he's saying isn't offensive, it's just honest.
He says the truth shouldn't offend you.
Exactly.
And people are offended by him.
People are only offended by the truth because it means that they might have to change the way they're living their lives.
Exactly.
It's their problem.
Thank you very much for doing these reactions with me. I really appreciate that. And I know this was not your music whatsoever.
It's not my thing,
but I'm glad that you got the opportunity to check it.
yeah, thanks. Am I all set?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.